Welcome to Loving God and Loving Life. We're in Luke chapter 19, where the theme is Jesus coming to save souls. He gives the parable of the talents, and then he rides in triumph into Jerusalem, where he weeps over the city and cleanses the temple. Friends, this chapter really is, if we'll just open our heart and let him speak into it, it's rugged. It's rugged when Jesus comes into Jerusalem. Yes, they're praising him on Palm Sunday, praising him. But verse 41 says, as he approached Jerusalem, he saw the city. He wept over it. As I prepared today's lesson, I had just a moment of weeping myself as I thought of the many people that I've pastored who had a great season where they love God and they really were trying to do God's will, but they have strayed so far, not just from church, but from God, from righteous living. Many have justified some wildly sinful lifestyles today. And then Jesus went on in verse 44, he says, he's talking to the people of Jerusalem, they will dash you to the ground, you and the children within your walls. They will leave you. They will not leave one stone on another because, why is all this disaster going to happen? Jesus is predicting the overthrow of Jerusalem, which happened just 40 years later. Rome came and completely destroyed Jerusalem in 70 A.D. Why did it happen, Jesus said? Well, you see it underlined here, because you did not recognize the time of God's coming to you. As I said, I just wept over some of these people. And here's the truth. And I remember some very clear conversations with some of these men. And they just kind of were lackadaisical about some sinful things in their life. And yes, they had faith and they were growing and Jesus was real to them. They'd even been baptized. But, they had maybe a little sexual sin going on or some things over here. And they just, in their minds, they had plenty of time to deal with that. Because, hey, God is good. Church is good. We're moving forward, Pastor Brian. Just be patient. And really, they were just excusing things that they shouldn't have excused, and they're nowhere to be found today. And Jesus predicted some really, really rugged judgment. Yeah, the whole place was destroyed, and that's maybe dramatic to us to see physically. That a physical city was destroyed. The very next event is Jesus going in and cleansing the temple, throwing the tables. That actually happened more than once. Do you know that Jesus did that going into the temple, what we call the cleansing of the temple? It happened for sure 2 times, potentially more, where he's giving an illustration that, guys, cleansing, this is, our body is the temple of God. And we just kid ourselves sometimes that I can deal with that later. It's okay. Let's just be patient, just be patient. Friends, if you are legitimately moving, if you're doing the best that you can, and you're fighting against sin and you're overcoming, God is amazingly patient. But if you're having the attitude that, this is okay, I'm okay, we'll deal with that later. Friends, I weep. I weep for that mindset. The truth is, if you're not afraid to continually sin, I don't know how else to say this, you don't know God. It's just, you're believing a lie. You're serving a God that doesn't exist. You're serving a God that you've created in your mind. Because the real God is in your face. He is dominant. He is active. Yes, he's loving. He's wildly loving. He loves you so much that he gave his life for your sin. But that's for you so you can overcome it. So that his Spirit can help you overcome it, not so you can continue to live in it. Let's not presume upon the grace of God. It's amazingly dangerous. And this is a theme, if you pay attention as you read these chapters, that Jesus addresses a lot more than we're comfortable with. Yeah, he confronts us a lot on this. Friends, today God's going to send us across the path of some people who are playing games with God. Let's be bold enough to share his love with them. God, today, send us one person today to share your love with. Friends, never forget that doing God's will and loving God, it's the only way to love your life.